Good morning, this is DCR, TroyCommunityRadio.com. I'm Clint Myers on 107.1 WTJN for David Denoyer on TCTV. It's time for the Mayor's Report, and this morning with us I have Tom Funderburgh. Good morning.
Good morning, Clint. How are you doing?
Doing wonderful this morning.
The mayor is actually away here, and he just had a new granddaughter, so he's out celebrating that, spending some time with the family, so we get to fill in for the day.
All right. Well, you've got some things coming up, the prayer breakfast.
We do. The prayer breakfast is actually on October 24th at 9 a.m. at the First Baptist Church on 53 South Norwich, and it's a great event, good community fellowship. The tickets are $5 each, and I think everyone knows Shane Carter. He is going to be the speaker for the morning, as well as the Troy Community Choir will be providing music. So a great event and a good way to start off the weekend.
All right. And, well, you're speaking of the weekend. We also have Hometown Halloween is coming up very shortly.
That same day, that's a great time as well. Starts at about the same time, 9 o'clock. Children should be arriving for the parade, which is at the county building next to the library. And that parade proceeds down Main Street towards Prouty Plaza. We have about 400 to 500 kids dressed up in all kinds of costumes. As I said the other day, I think we had every major kitchen appliance represented there. We had washers and dryers and dishwashers and you name it.
Superheroes.
Everybody there. Jerry, the Incredible Hulk, will be there probably, and we'll have it all. But it's a good time. There's judging up for 10 different age groups, and that's sponsored by the Troy Optimist Club, the judging, and that part of it is. But it's all put together by Troy Main Street, and it's an annual event. Kids have a great time. The parents come out with them. After the judging, then they proceed downtown, and where all the merchants are handing out candy like a typical trick-or-treat event. So it's 9 to noon on the 24th. We hope to see a big crowd, and hopefully the weather holds up for us that day as well.
Hopefully it will. A little fall-like for sure out there now.
It feels like Halloween now, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
You brought Jerry Mullins along with you. Jerry, with fall, what are some things that people need to keep in mind as we go into leaf collection time?
Well, basically, we started our leaf collection Monday, the last week, and as we go through the city, we'll do 3 complete rounds, 1 through October, 1 through November, and pretty much up to the first snowfall. Basically, when you put your leaves out, we like for them to be about 18 inches from the curb. Make sure you don't put any debris in them. Leaves only in one pile. We still collect the brush, as long as it's tied and bundled, or you can get a tea bag from Uptown, or you also purchase those at True Value. And so the brush program continues through the fall. We just ask that you don't mix your brush and other debris in with the leaves, because we have a couple of new collection pieces of equipment that act as like a giant, they're actually like a giant leaf vacuum cleaner, and they go along the road and collect the leaves. If you have debris in the leaves, it can tear the equipment up, and it can slow the process down and create delays in the collection process. For the most part, though, I mean, the citizens do a great job of putting the leaves out in the manner we want them, without debris in them. And then usually leaf season, even though I always tell people it's leaf season, it's not leaf day, so it is going to be
Right.
3 months. They're going to be laying around, but eventually, by the time Christmas gets around, all the leaves are gone. We've collected them, and we've got quite the stockpile down at the dye mill facility, which is another area. If you don't want to put your leaves in front and wait for us to come by and get them, you're always welcome to take them down to the facility on dye mill, which is open until the first Saturday after Thanksgiving.
Okay, so it's got some time to be, that it will be open, that folks
yes.
can still take their debris out there. And the big idea of keeping the leaves about 18 inches out from the curb is so if we get storms, so that the water still has that clear right of way to get to the sewer drains,
Right.
or the storm runoff drains, and also that you're not washing that stuff down into the drains,
Right.
Causing a clog somewhere.
Correct. Troy is still one of the communities that offers you the ability to put your leaves out. I mean, if you just as close as Dayton, no longer allow you to pile your leaves on the road, and that's part of the reason why we don't want the stuff going in and clogging the catch basins, because fall is also a rainy season.
Right.
And it can cause some serious flooding issues if that happens. So if you keep them 18 inches away, it will help. You're still going to get some stuff down there, but that 18 inches gives that water just a path to go without collecting debris as it goes into the catch basin.
All right. Folks have also seen their new recycling bins.
Yes, they have. Yes, they have.
How has that been going so far?
It's early in the process right now, but so far I would think that the first week has gone relatively well. We have citizens who are concerned about where they're going to store the bin in their garages, or if they don't have a garage. I would just tell everybody that this is a program that is countrywide. It is the new millennium of picking up and collecting trash.
Well, we're all recycling, and we've been recycling maybe on a smaller scale.
Correct.
But the bins are great. The small bins were great, but you set those out by the curb, and the wind blows overnight. Whatever, you wind up with stuff out in the yard.
Right.
I like these. Of course, there's a lot more storage space in there, and people might get a little bit more involved in recycling, and it has a lid. That's the good part.
That's the hope, is that the initial concerns that people had about the size of them, and some people saying, I'll never be able to fill that thing, you really don't have to put it out every week. I mean, you can store it in your garage. Usually recycling, unlike trash, isn't going to start stinking real bad.
Right.
So you could store that for a couple weeks, even 3 if you had to, and place that out to the curb, maybe once every couple weeks or so instead of every single week. And if you look at it that way, I took the cart over to my mom's house and allowed her to push it up and down her driveway. And it's a little cumbersome as you're elderly, but she found it to be actually easier than trying to bend over, lift that bin, and take what she usually would have like 2 bins. So she'd have to make 2 trips to the curb that way. This gives you the ability to put all your recycling in, make 1 trip out to the curb, and set it down. I know there's going to be some people that have issues with that, but I hope there's a way for them to find a way to utilize the program, make it successful, and get ready that possibly we might, we don't know for sure yet, but we're really trying to lean towards getting carts also for trash.
Okay.
So that you'd have a cart for trash. Part of the confusion with the recycling is some people got these new carts and they're putting their trash in it with the recycling, and we're just asking them, don't do that. Place your trash beside the can. Leave enough room for the Rumpke arm to get in and grab the cart. That's one of the important things with the cart, is that it's in the street, a couple feet from the curb, and that you don't have any items around it. Some people are concerned that cars might park in front of it. If you put it in the street, they can't park in front of it. They could park near it, but a lot of people, if you put it on the curb lawn, then that gives someone the opportunity to pull up and park in front of it. As long as you have it setting in the street, then you can still have somebody pull up beside it. But I've spoke with the drivers; they're pretty good with those arms. As long as it's not touching the cart, they can normally dump it. But you made a good point about the litter. Is these things will really cut down on the amount of litter that we would see blowing out of those little red recycling bins. So that was another reason that people do this, is it really cuts back on that issue also. It's change. And I know that change is hard sometimes, but I believe a year from now, most of the comments about this will be positive and will be moved on to the next change.
Right. For instance, in our garage, we didn't have room for even the regular trash can.
Okay.
So a couple of the foot by foot pavers, right on the side of the house, set it out. Cans perfectly sits on it. It's got a nice level place to sit. So just as an idea of maybe what someone could do with it, or around the corner of the house.
That is a great idea. Yeah, to set it outside. And these things are really weatherproof.
Yeah.
And some citizens are calling in wondering what they can put in the cart. The neat thing about these bins, these carts have on the lid, they have a map, so much, or a legend of what's allowed to be in there. And if you look at that, that tells you don't have to wash your items anymore. Even pizza boxes, I'll see a lot of pizza boxes in the trash. Hopefully the listeners hearing this will realize you can take that pizza box, as long as it still ain't got pizza in it.
Right.
You can throw that pizza box in your recycling container now, and they'll take that. Once again, eliminating stuff from the trash. You think about all the people that eat pizza. If every one of those boxes now makes it to recycling, that's really going to cut down a lot on what's going to the landfill.
Right. Well, thank you so much. Anything else either of you two would like to add in this morning?
Just want to make sure you're thinking about that hometown Halloween, Clint, and get your costume ready because we'll want to see you down there.
I'll have my costume ready. Not quite sure what it is.
All
You gonna
right.
be a washer or a dryer?
Dishwasher. I heard that's what you do.
Yeah.
All right.
I would do that best.
Right.
All right. Thank you so much, Jerry Mullins and Tom Funderburgh. From the city of Troy, I'm Clint Myers on 107.1 WTJN for David Denoyer on TCTV.